Hello, it's Christy Gray, your newest hype girl and astrologer. Welcome to the Cosmic Hotline.
Have you ever experienced an instant connection with someone? You can't seem to put your finger on it, but you feel like you've known them for a lifetime. It could be a partner from the past that you feel a soul connection with. Maybe someone made an impression so strong it's something you've never been able to shake. If this sounds familiar, you're bound to have experienced a fated meeting. A cosmic connection, soulmate, twin flame, or karmic relationship are just some of the terms you'll find online to explain these soulful encounters. But let's be real, not all encounters speak of a fairy tale. Some people we can easily create a deep bond with, while others may come into our lives for a season, becoming a mirror for us to learn something we're yet to master. Astrology can provide many explanations on the topic of meaningful relationships. If you've experienced any of these encounters before, let's explore some of the synchronicities to help you recognize the astrological connections. So, why is this month's Cosmic Deep Dive topic? Well, we need to finish and follow up on episode 6, and this is our listener question.
I've recently gone through a breakup and an astrologist revealed that my ex was likely a karmic partner. Could you discuss synastry and the ideas of what soulmates versus karmic partners and twin flames are?
So, what really is natal chart synastry? Synastry, which is also known as relationship astrology, involves two people's natal charts. This could be between a business colleague, a child, and a parent, a friendship, significant other, or someone you've just started dating, or in this person's case, a breakup. It helps you to examine the strengths and opportunities within the relationship, looking at their natal charts essentially combined. Now, I'm the first one to raise my hand to say I have been known to check natal chart synastry out for myself. I look at it when I've been on a date and the guy may have dished out his birth chart details, why a friendship has come to an end, or why I vibe with some people and others I can just find more challenging. But I have to premise that synastry can help you make sense of things in a relationship, but knowing the natal chart of a person you're wanting to understand more about holds way more insights. For example, if you're just starting to get to know someone and you have Mercury, the planet of communication, in Gemini, you're more chatty, very curious in conversation, and you may be prone to moving from one subject to the next. Whereas your new boo, they may have Mercury in Cancer. So they make decisions based on how they're feeling, and that feeling can change based on moment to moment. They're more sensitive. If you both aren't willing to meet each other halfway and understand your communication differences, it could be challenging to come to an agreement because you may not see eye to eye. Here's the thing. I don't think it's about trying to find a written in the stars cosmic connection. It's instead about finding the friction in relationship astrology and the space between you and somebody else. The reason why is the space helps you to both grow together, and the friction is like glue because a harmonious relationship, in my opinion, it can sometimes lead to complacency. Looping back to this week's listener question, what are the differences between soulmates, karmic partners, and twin flames? A soulmate comes into your life based on timing and circumstances. Someone that has similar beliefs and values to you, and you appear to be in sync. I believe soulmates can be a partner, best friend, or even a pet. I've even had clients tell me a city is their definition of a soulmate, but that's a convo for another time. Twin flames isn't a term I like to use. It essentially represents a mirrored connection with someone and an intense soul connection. I've seen a friend hang on to hope meeting her twin flame after a psychic told her she would. And I could see this was stopping her when she was meeting new people from trying to create a spark, but instead hoping it would magically happen. Now, it's not just because of this observation that I formed this opinion. For my 8th house placements, Scorpio babes, and significant Pluto placements out there, if you're wanting to go down an internet hole on twin flames, then I'm going to recommend a podcast to you. It's by Wondery called Twin Flames. It's a podcast about what happens when the quest for love turns into a dangerous obsession. One word, mind-blowing. Soulmates and twin flames aside, let's talk about karmic partners. Or I tend to use the term cosmic connections. Have you ever dated someone who made an impression so strong you've never been able to shake it? People come into our lives for a reason or a season. I believe we can have many cosmic connections in our life with others, not just when we're looking for the one. You can experience these fated meetings either by an astrological transit where a planet is aspecting your natal chart, which could be either a positive or not so great outcome, or through synastry. You can compare the natal charts of two people and how their planets interact with one another. So let's dive into exactly what's going on here. An astrologer will look towards certain houses, planets, and aspects to give you insight into cosmic connections. For example, if you've ever experienced a strong attraction to someone else and this feeling of knowing, this could mean one of their personal planets, which is Sun, Moon, Mercury, Venus, or Mars, are aspecting your South Node or vice versa. Remember, South Node is related to past life influence. If someone drops into your life almost magically, it could be a teacher, a friend, a significant other, chances are one of their personal planets, being Sun, Moon, Mercury, Venus, or Mars, are aspecting your North Node or vice versa. Remember, North Node is your destiny, it's your purpose and what you're working towards. Another lens is looking towards the planet Saturn, ruler of karma. Saturn resolves past problems and it's emphasized in a synastry chart. It's likely you'll experience a karmic lesson or karmic connection when this planet is thrown in the mix. Now, I'm really mindful that I don't want to take you through every inch of the cosmos today because synastry is layered, it's complex, but there is one more point I want to bring to your attention: the vertex. Have you heard of the vertex? It's actually not a planet or a star. It's a special point and it represents karmic or fated meetings. When you experience a turning point in your life or a soulmate encounter, this could mean your vertex is forming a connection with someone else's. If you feel like fate has intervened or you were under an illusion in a relationship, your vertex may have just collided. Stuck wondering what's on the horizon? Well, astrostrategy may be the celestial edge you're looking for. Astrologers gain insight into what's coming up using your transits and progressions. This information is then customized specifically to you and your unique natal chart. And I'm not talking the repetitive information on CoStar, but let's be real, it's a great place to start and it's where I started too. But there's way more insights you can access. And this is why I created my signature formula, Astrostrategy. Astrostrategy is 4 sessions spaced out over 9 to 12 months, you choose. And at each session, we reflect on the last quarter, identifying the sticking points, what's been happening in your life, and how you've been managing your time, energy, and greatest potential, all through the lens of your natal chart. Plus, we explore what's on the horizon. How can we look ahead at the most impactful and influential activations so that you can take big leaps towards your higher self? At each session, you'll walk away with an astro strategy. So think of this as your own personal horoscope and a plan in place to step into the energy of your higher self. If you want to know more, you can head to christygray.com or send me an email at hello@christygray.com for the 411. So this wouldn't be the cosmic hotline if we weren't going to do some digging between these two people's natal charts. Yes, that's right. The listener that submitted this question has given me her birth chart details. I also have the date of birth of the person that is now her ex. We don't have his time of birth, but I can definitely still look at synastry between them. And yes, this is absolutely a cosmic connection. Now, she's requested to remain anonymous, so I won't be sharing her details or her placements for privacy reasons, but I am going to talk you through some of the synastry, which is funny because it matches up with exactly what I was sharing before. What's even better about this is I am going to do this live with you. Yes, that's right. I am looking at these two charts for the very first time, and I'm going to be taking you through what I'm seeing in real time. Now, straight off the bat, I'm already starting to see some synchronicities without even looking at the synastry between them. There's definitely an element of attraction, and I would say a very strong attraction right from the get go. They almost felt drawn to each other. The reason being, is Saturn and the North Node are in opposition between the two charts, which means Saturn is in conjunction with the South Node. You might remember what I said before is South Node and especially Saturn is related to this feeling that you almost have known each other before, or when you first started connecting, that you feel like you've known each other for a lifetime. On a whole, this is actually a life changing relationship, but maybe not what this listener anticipated. The reason being is Pluto squares the sun between the two natal charts. There were challenges between power and control and restriction. If the two people in this relationship weren't able to meet halfway, then they would always struggle to make it work. Now, I say this not just because Pluto squares Sun in the relationship, because there's so many variable parts we're looking at, but looking at the other person's natal chart would lead me to believe that her ex, if not living in a high vibrational state or working with their natal chart's potential, they could be prone to partying, escapism, imagination, dreaming, and actually not realize that they have something quite magical in front of them. She needs a lot of communication in the relationship, and she also needs to feel safe to communicate because it's a big deal when she expresses herself. Whereas for him, he might not be the best communicator. So that could make it challenging. I've sat down now with hundreds of people and I've looked at natal chart synastry. And I'm a big believer that it doesn't matter what Google says at the end of the day, because you might be Googling late at night, I'm a Libra, am I compatible with a Cancer, or whatever that looks like. And that's really fun, but in the big scheme of things, it's actually not going to give you a good indication of who that person is, how are they actually showing up in the world. And as you probably know by now, you're way more than your star sign. Instead, I'm a really big fan of Esther Perel's work, and I highly recommend her podcast to anybody that's wanting to strengthen communication within a relationship. She's a psychologist based out of New York City. Her podcast centers around relationship breakdowns and the importance of communication. That's why I am so passionate, and I did also share this with you earlier. If you've got two people that are willing to meet each other halfway, reconcile their differences, be open to the differences in the relationship, because the openness and spaciousness between two natal charts gives you an opportunity for growth. That means you can make almost anything work. But even though there's so much synastry between these two people, if these people aren't willing to reconcile their differences or see what they have right in front of them, for whatever reason that is, it could make it challenging for them to move forward. So, to round out this week's listener question, I want to assure you that yes, this is a fated meeting, a cosmic connection, some form of soul connection that you've experienced. I definitely believe that this person has come into your life to either teach you a lesson, or they've come for a reason, or maybe a season. And a big part of your identity in this lifetime is based on your relationships. So, what I would invite you to do is to continue to explore and peel back the layers of what were the key lessons that you learned in this relationship. What were the serendipitous things that you would love to experience in another relationship? And what were maybe some of the red flags or the differences that you couldn't reconcile? Get clear on exactly what you're wanting to call forth in a relationship. The universe can't deliver on wishy-washy manifestations. Be confident in declaring to the universe what you want. And it may not be an idea or visualization of exactly what somebody looks like. It could be how they treat you, how they help you to feel seen, how they help you to feel safe when you communicate. They might bring out the best in you. Think of all the key attributes or even the feeling that you want to have or experience within the relationship. And guess what? Your natal chart will give you the answers to all of those questions. So keep exploring, babe. Thank you for tuning into this week's episode. And I truly hope you now have clarity over twin flames, cosmic connections, soulmates. Next week, I'll be back with our forecast for the new moon. Plus, we'll be answering a listener question. And I'm so excited. This year's new moon in Virgo falls on my birthday. So we're going to be talking about the significance of lunar cycles when they happen to fall on a significant day.